Change your heart, change your life, change the planet.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden coming to you from the summit of Mount Anthony in Bennington, Vermont. Just did a really steep grind up the mountain in the middle of a 9-mile run. I'm about halfway done, and now it's pretty much all downhill and flat on the way back. And you can hear the wind blowing through the leaves up here on the summit. It's a gorgeous, almost fall day. And I wanted to keep you up to date on my training and racing strategy. Most people get into a couch to 5K program, and that's kind of what I've been doing, because up until 2 months ago I was doing a little bit of biking, but I really wasn't training much at all. I wasn't doing anything seriously. I'd kind of go out there every now and again just because I like being in the woods, I like listening to books, but I was mostly walking. It's really only in the past 2 months that I've started to train again, and in the past month in particular I've really amped it up, almost to the point of what I was doing prior to my injury. Not the same amount of mileage or hours, but the same intensity. I'm really training with hardcore intensity right now. So I've got a couch to ouch to 5K, and right now I'm in the ouch phase. So yesterday, Sunday, I did a 5K race on legs that were totally destroyed, and that's my plan. I do that on purpose. And this is something that I did throughout my racing career. I'd beat myself up physically, push myself to the limit and beyond, and then enter a race with legs that are sore and tired and sluggish and feel like lead weights. Right? The mountain run that I did on Thursday, the last video that I made, climbed 3,000 feet, really hard effort, and then I ran down that mountain at full speed. And although the running up was incredibly physically and emotionally demanding, the run down did a lot more damage to my body. Running downhill fast really tears the quads to pieces, because you got 5 to 8 times your body weight when you're coming down. So my body weight's like 148 pounds, so imagine multiplying that by 5 or 8 on every step as I descend that mountain. Quads torn to shreds. Friday, they were really sore. Saturday, I could barely walk. They were so sore. But I ran through Friday and Saturday. Saturday, I did a mountain run here on Mount Anthony. I ran to the summit, which is about an 1,800-foot climb. That was about a 7-mile run. So Sunday, I get to the race, beat to hell, in the warm-up. I feel like I can't even do it. My legs are so sore. I don't even want to do the warm-up. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, don't do this. You don't need to do this. We'll do something maybe on Tuesday. We'll do a harder effort instead of just a track workout. Maybe we'll find a Tuesday night race somewhere, a cross-country race. And this is the whole point of me doing this, showing up to a race beat to hell, because I want to get in touch with that voice. I want to get in touch with the part of me that wants to quit, that wants to give up, that wants to make excuses. I want to keep moving forward even with that voice giving me 101 reasons why I should not do this race. Oh, and the biggest reason that it gave me? Dude, you signed up with your name. People are going to see the results. If you enter this race with legs like they are right now, I don't think I've ever had legs that sore or tired before a race. If you enter with those legs, you're going to run like 18 minutes. Seriously, I don't think you can beat 18 minutes today. And people are going to see that, and they're like, oh my God, Van Orden's washed up. Look how slow he is. And all these people are going to say, oh, I can run faster than Tim. That kind of crap. So that's going through my head, like, oh my God, my reputation. What are people going to think of me? And it's like, okay, all right. That's okay to be there. It's okay to have that fear. It's okay to have those voices. Let's be gentle with them. Let's nurture them. Let's be smart. Let's just do this, okay? Let's go out there and do the best that we can when we don't feel at our best. And that's why I do this. I want to show myself that I am much stronger and much more capable than I think when I'm tired, when I'm weak, when I feel broken. When that voice shows up and says, you're hurt, you're sick, you're tired, you can't do it. It's okay to give up. Nobody will blame you if you give up. It's those moments where I show myself, I know that's how you feel, and I know that's what you think, but trust me, there's a lot more strength in you than you realize. There's a lot more in your gas tank. than you can imagine right now, than your brain is letting you see right now. You're scared, and when you get scared, your focus gets really narrow, and you only see the negative. But trust me, there's so much more to you and the world around you than the little negative window that your brain is allowing you to see right now. So let's do this. So did a warm-up, brought over a friend to do the race with me, and coaching them as well, which helped me deal with my own stuff. As I got to coach them, I was coaching myself internally. And my goal was to start the race really relaxed and see if I could, see if I can run fast for the first mile and then hold on. I don't want to try to win the race. I don't want to try to negative split the race. I don't want to be comfortable in the race. The goal is to show up to the race beat up, tired, miserable, wanting to quit, sore, feeling terrible, and then running hard. Relaxed, but hard. And then seeing what you've got. What happens when that adrenaline wears off and now you're confronted by the physical and emotional discomfort? Because the adrenaline will mask that. What happens then? What happens around a mile and a quarter in when the adrenaline starts to fade and you realize that you're in way over your head? Who are you? Can you hold on to that pace, or do you give up? Do the voices show up again and say, oh man, you're in too deep? There were, close to 500 people in the race, and a lot of them were high school and college kids. So there was a whole herd of guys that just boom from the gun. They sprinted. And I was probably in 40th place in the first 100 meters. And then I gradually worked my way through them and found a couple guys way off in the lead and started working my way up to them, and then eventually worked my way to second place. And when I saw the guy in first, I thought, okay, he's a legit runner. This guy's the real deal. So let's see if I can stay with him. Let's see if I can catch him and then stay with him. So I came up on him and he turned around. He was kind of surprised I was there, and I was surprised I was there. I looked down at my watch and we're running 5:10 pace, and I'm like, wow, okay, I did not expect to run this fast, but let's see what I can do. So he went through the first mile in 5:08. I was a few seconds behind him, and I felt good. I was really surprised that I felt that good on terrible legs with as little training as I've done, running a mile in probably 5 teens. So after the first mile, I started to feel a little and had to work with those voices, had to be calm, had to be gentle, had to work on my stride, had to work on my rhythm. Even though he wasn't right next to me, I looked up at him in the distance. He was probably, maybe 10, 15 yards ahead of me. And I tried to mimic his stride. I tried to mimic his rhythm, to grab his cadence, to try to feel what his body was feeling, because clearly he's ahead of me. So let's feel his increased fitness, his increased relaxation. So I tried to mimic him. And I looked down at my watch and I was running like 5:23 pace at that point, and he started to pull away a bit. And then I just held on to that pace, slowed down a little bit, but just held on. He kept pulling further and further away from me, so it's just me running by myself and my thoughts. The thoughts that told me, okay, you went out way too fast in the first mile. You're not ready to run this fast yet. You haven't done enough training. You're still basically a beginner again. And you can't run, a 5 teens mile and hold on to that pace. There's going to be a cost until we have a few months of training under our belt, a few months more. So I just held on. And then as I approached the finish, I was in a lot of pain, but I talked to myself again. I went through a body inventory. I relaxed. I focused what parts of my body are hurting. Can I change their position? Can I change my stride? Is there something I can do to bring in relaxation? Who can I imagine running? How about Bernard Lagat? I love to watch Bernard Lagat run. Can I embody him right now? What do his hips feel like? Just put that image in your head. What do his shoulders feel like? How does he move his arms? How does he move his legs? What does that feel like? So I went through the finish in sub 5-minute pace. Like the last 200 meters, I relaxed and sped up and went down to like 4:58 pace. And didn't have a super fast time. It was a 16:50. But to me, at this point, that's really exciting. Because I was beat to hell and I went out too fast. And I'm 47 now and have barely been training. So that's a really good sign to me. that if I increase the training, keep at this, in a few months, I'll hopefully be under 16 minutes. And who knows, right now on fresh legs, I might be in the low 16s. I don't know, it's possible. But it's a good sign that the training has been working. But more importantly, this is about approaching races, approaching training with the intention of being challenged, with the intention of deflating your ego. I didn't want to show up to this race fresh and having this ego that said, oh, I'm, fast. I used to be able to run fast. Let's go out there and try to win this thing. And getting all puffed up like, hey, I'm the big tough guy here. No, I wanted to show up beaten to hell. I wanted to be humbled when I got on that line. I wanted to be relaxed. I didn't want to have any expectations, or at least no positive expectations. I just wanted to be present. Be present and deal with the voices, deal with the discomfort. And this is a tool that's helped me so much in life. And a lot of what I'm learning right now is that when you intentionally face challenge, when you intentionally set yourself up to deal with discomfort and then relax from that discomfort, recover, and then face discomfort again, relax and recover, you increase what they call heart rate variability, HRV. And heart rate variability is a sign of how well your autonomic nervous system is performing. And your autonomic nervous system is a combination of your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system. So both of those together are your autonomic. So your sympathetic nervous system, you can see it as your arousal nervous system. So fight or flight is sympathetic, and the calming, more relaxing, more present nervous system is your parasympathetic. So sympathetic is the gas pedal, either run towards or run away. Parasympathetic is the brake. Let's put on the brakes, let's put it in neutral, and let's just coast and calm down. Let's stop expending so much energy. So heart rate variability is a sign of how well those two guys are tuned together, or two gals, or guy and a gal. So if your heart rate isn't variable, that means that your sympathetic nervous system is usually dominating. You're stuck with the foot on the gas pedal, and your heart rate is incredibly consistent. You're stuck in a sympathetic response, stuck in a stress response. But when the heart rate is variable, it's going fast and going slow and going fast and going slow. It might have an average of 60 beats a minute, but if you look at it on a really small scale, if you look at individual beats and the pauses and spaces in between the beats, you'll notice variability. And that is a really good sign. It means your sympathetic is working on the in-breath and your parasympathetic is working on the out-breath, and that's what you want. You want that variability. So when you face discomfort and you face intensity and you push yourself and then you relax, you're training the body to be sympathetic and then parasympathetic. Sympathetic and then parasympathetic. So yoga is a great way to do this. Running is a great way to do this. Meditation is a great way to do this. Focused intensity, dealing with discomfort, and then pull back. Relax. So that's my plan, to get myself in shape, to get back into the racing scene, and hopefully in the middle of October for the US Championships, I might have something. There's some incredibly fast guys in the Masters world, so I have no hopes or expectations of getting on a podium, not at all. I just want to see what I can do. I'd love to be in the top 10. That would be amazing. So if I can get myself into the low 16s or into the 15s again for cross-country 5K, I'd be super pumped, and hopefully that would get me into the top 10 in the country. And then as my training begins to progress for months and months throughout the winter and I get in better shape, who knows, maybe I'll knock it down into the top 5 or top 3, or you never know. But I'm excited to be back in the game and approaching it with this intentional intensity, this intentional deflation of the ego. Beat yourself up and then show up. And then talk to the voices, calm them down, deal with that discomfort, show yourself that the discomfort has a beginning and an end, and don't worry, the end is coming, and we can handle it. What does this discomfort feel like in my chest, in my legs, in my shoulders? Where is that intensity? Describe it, notice it, talk about it, breathe into it, and realize that it has an end, it's not permanent. And soon you'll be in the relaxation phase. And that tension and relaxed intention, when combined, will have an incredible effect on you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Okay? So I hope there's value in there for you. I'm super pumped to run down the mountain now, and super pumped to do a track workout tomorrow, up in the intensity yet again, and we'll see what I got. I'm going to show up tomorrow pretty beaten up too, because I did this race yesterday, and here I am today doing a really hard mountain run. So just keeping it intense, and but then backing off and being calm. And I'll keep you posted. Love you guys. See ya.
Human beings are mechanisms of resistance. We only grow through challenge. We don't grow from sitting still. We don't grow from being static. Actually, we do the opposite. We atrophy. We get mentally weaker, we get physically weaker, and we get spiritually weaker when we don't challenge ourselves.